Okay, before going into this object-oriented programming, let me actually still take question. Okay, there's a question from a student regarding debugging for merge sort. Okay, basically I cannot help every student to do debugging. Okay, so because we have so many students, we have certified students, and then if I try to help each student to do debugging on each problem, that would take me too much time. Okay, I don't have TA, I don't have grader to help me. Okay, only grading. Each week, if you guys work on 5 problem, right, 5 code, and then I have certified student times 5, then that's actually already 130 something problem. I need to run the code to make sure that your program work. Okay, so basically there are a lot of work, not to mention about the other work that I need to do. Okay, so basically I don't help students to do debugging, and you have to find assistance from somewhere else. Okay, that's the number one, that I don't help individual to do debugging. But here, what I can do is I'll talk about the merge sort again. Okay, one more time. Instead of debugging your code, okay. One thing is that when you learn coding, you must understand and actually remember the algorithm by heart. Okay, you don't need to remember each line of the code, but you need to remember the concept. Okay, you need to remember the concept. So last time I demonstrated the bubble sort. Okay, I demonstrated the bubble sort. But whenever you practice code, say you actually on the code or you're on the coding bed. Okay, I told you the beginners coding bed Python. Okay, you practice some coding bed Python. You work on it, and you need to make sure that you understand each of the problem, and then you can repeat it. Okay, and to remember that, you need to remember the algorithm by heart. Okay, you don't need to remember each line of the code, but you need to remember the concept. Okay, so let me show you again by merge sort. Okay, let me create a new directory. Okay, any question? Any other question? So I'm going to start with the merge sort. Okay.
I was going to ask if you saw my email I sent you last night at around the deadline for turning in the project one performance measure, because I actually turned in the wrong file and I emailed it to you because I didn't see a way to resubmit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then did I grade your?
You haven't graded yet. I was making sure you saw the email because I didn't see any more response back. That's all.
Okay, I don't know. I'll check. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll check.
Hello, Professor. I have a little bit issue with the date. It says February 6, Sundays, February 6, 2022. Is it today or yesterday?
Okay, basically, if you are late by 2 days, 3 days, I don't care. We don't deduct point if you are late by 2 days, 3 days. Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
So anything before the end of the semester will be accepted. But if you are actually late by more than 2 weeks, we may give you some minor deduction, but will not be major one. Is that okay?
Oh, I uploaded mine already.
Some students are late because they have personal reason, whatever. We don't have time to deal with each individual's personal circumstances. So what I have for so many years is like, no matter you are late for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, we actually don't have problem with that. We don't deduct because of the data point, because of the date. Okay. But if you are late, say we already week 10, and you're submitting week 1, then at that time we may give you some minor deduction. Okay. But anything, say we are already week 16 and you submitted week 1, we are still grading. Okay.
So I already submitted mine, but I need to finish it. Can I just, it doesn't look like I can submit another one.
No, there's no need. You just keep submitting the newer project, which there are so many. There are so many. So basically, if you already submit one, we just take one attempt. So there are students keep bugging me like, okay, I need to multiply this, multiply that. Okay, we just take one attempt.
I didn't realize that it could be late. So,
but next time you actually can have more time to work on it. Okay.
All right.
There are 16, actually 8 programming assignments. So you don't need to worry about it. Okay. There are plenty of points. I don't think that if you are missed by 10 points in one programming assignment, eventually it will be hurting your grade too much. Okay. So basically just keep doing, because there are more homework keep coming. So it's very hard for you to actually work until week 7 and you're still working on week 3 homework. You can only make yourself too busy at the end. Okay. Try not to cover up too many homework, even though we take the late homework. Is that okay? Usually a lot of students say, I will not need to be late this time, and then they pair up a lot of things. And then until week 15, they are still working on week 5 homework. Okay.
No, I don't want to be late. It's just
I mean, instead of doing that, you just keep submitting whatever you have every week. That would be a better policy. Okay. My experience, because later on the homework will be harder than before.
All right.
Okay. So don't worry, just keep doing. Usually if you keep track of all the homework, you should be fine. Okay. You should be fine. As you can see, I don't, usually the programming assignment, I don't make a big deduction, except that you copy or you actually totally don't understand what it is. Some minor problems, such as the number is wrong, I actually usually don't deduct too much. You know what I'm saying? I know that mathematical calculation or hand calculation, sometimes they are error. So I don't deduct too much for that. I know that you work on it, you know what we are asking for, that's good enough. Okay. But if your problem, if your answer or your program answer is like, okay, we need 100 line of a code, you write me 1 line, then I say, okay, this is too much. This actually, you are not working on it, right? So don't worry, just keep working on the project. Don't working on the programming assignment. Don't worry. There are so many assignments, so many items. You keep accumulating points. So far, many students are doing okay. Okay. Some already more than a certain point. So they are doing okay. Don't be late. Okay. Don't be late. Late, you will accumulate more homework at the end. And then even though we take the late homework, and then if you are in the week 14, 15, you are still working on week 4, week 3 homework, I don't think you have the time to finish everyone, right? Our goal is actually give you enough training at every a lot of aspect of the programming language, okay?
All right.
But if you are miss, say, some number, okay, calculation numbers, I don't take big deduction, maybe 5 point, 10 point. So what? It's not going to hurt you by a lot. Okay. Okay. Anyway. So that's actually work on the merge sort. Okay. The reason why I want to demonstrate it is because that I want to show people when you learn algorithm or you learn programming language, one important thing is that you must remember the concept, okay? So whenever you go to interview, say right now, some student eventually will go to job market and then will take the interview on the call, on call signal, right? At that time, you need to remember the call. So you say, let me copy from internet. No, that's impossible, right? The people is sitting there waiting for you to do coding, right? Even though some people would try to use the OpenAI GPT to help, I don't think that will help you, okay? So first things that let's work on the Merge program, okay? Merge Soul has two parts. One is merge, one is the Merge Soul itself. Let's work on merge first. So basically, Merge Soul is like you have 2, 4, 1, 3, okay? They are four numbers. You break down into two parts. 2, 4, 1, 3. And 2, 4 break down into two parts. These are divide and conquer, okay? So basically, you divide it into these. Okay, that's the first phase. Second phase, you merge back and do sorting, right? So basically, you need to remember the concept. Okay, these happen to be the same, okay? And then merge back, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically, let's work on the merges first. Merge part, you get two array, and then actually the smaller will be taken. Okay, the smaller will be taken and then merge it to the array. Okay, so here you actually can define a function called merge. Before you go into the coding, you must understand the concept. Okay, so there's an A array, there's a B array. You want to merge them together, and then you can have the hint. Okay, so you can have the hint, and then you will actually return the integer array. Okay, you will return the integer array, but that's actually not necessary. So you will actually create a C array. Okay, that's assume it's actually a list. Okay, and then you merge from A and B to C. So A is like this, B is like this. Okay. And then eventually you are going to merge them into a C array, right? C array. So here, actually, you are going to take out a data from one array. Okay, so okay, so basically, if one of the array is empty, you don't need to compare. You don't need to do anything, right? So let's assume that A and B right now are sorted. A and B are sorted, and you are going to put into the C, right? And then you compare this. If A is 0 is less than or equal to B is 0. Okay, so then C will be appending 1, appending A is 0, right? And then A will remove, actually, you use pop, okay, pop at 0. So A will be pop out, okay? Otherwise, B0 is smaller, so actually C will be appending B0 and B after that will be pop out the 0 location. Okay, so this portion actually basically you do have A array that's actually have the 2, 4. You have B array that is 1, 3. So first time you are going to have B0 actually smaller. B0 smaller, right? So actually you take the B to C, right? And then B's 0 got pop out. So B only have a 3 left. Right? And then after that you actually pop out 2 and then put it here. Okay? And then pop out 3 and then actually pop out 4. Okay. So if one of them actually already done, say if A is done, A have no element, B may still have element. Okay. Then actually you B already done, but A still not done yet. So you will continue to do pop out from A and then put it to C. Okay. And here while then so B actually greater than 0, same thing. Okay. You actually keep pop out from B. Okay. If B still not empty. Okay. It's okay. It can merged. I use a different lens. It got merged by doing this. So the merge part is pretty simple. Any question? You need to remember the concept. You remember the concept. While A still have data, B still have, okay, this one actually still have data, okay? It actually, I forget the greater than 0, but lucky enough, any positive number is considered to be true. So it's okay. So while A have data and B still have data, then we compare the first element see whose the first element is smaller. So we cut that one out and then put it into C. Cut that one out and put it into C. Okay. And then when one of the array is already been empty, you put the other one that still have data into the array. Okay, that's it. This one is actually merged. So we use dist. Okay. Now this is merged, then we need to work on merge sort. So remember the concept. Okay, remember the concept. So here we need to use a merge sort. So merge sort we call merge. Okay, merge sort called merge. So we put a merge over there and we define a merge sort. Okay. So merge sort again here we only have a array called A. Okay. So number one, it is array A If this array has only one element, there's nothing you need to break. And then if you only have one element, there's nothing you need to break and then sort. Okay, so there's nothing you need to do that. So you just say if len of a, okay, that's then 2. So 0 or 1, you have to return a. Okay. Other than that, you want to have the first half and second half. Okay. You want to have the first half and second half. And then you need to create the first half and sort the first half and then sort the second half as well. Okay. So our system say if we have even number of the element, say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, then we will break down to 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay. If we do have 1, 2, 3, then we'll break down to 1, 2, and the 3. Okay. So that the left side one be bigger. Okay. So this one we use the low is 0. High is actually length minus 1. Okay. So the middle one actually is called low plus high. Actually divided by 2. So that's when here we have low is 0, high is 3. Okay. And low divided by 5, it would actually get low actually divided by 5, you would get 1. Okay. So basically this is a midpoint. So midpoint is this one. Okay, so second half starting from me plus 1. Okay. Anyway, there's a calculation so that actually have low equals 0, high equals length of a minus 1. I use this system because this is actually also being used for binary search. Okay. For binary search. So this one actually your low is that is your high is like this. Okay. Then your midpoint is equal to half of the low plus high. Okay. Remember this one is Python, so you need to do integer division by 2. Double slash, not single slash. Okay. So let me actually look at this one more time. Okay. So if you have 5 elements, if 0 to 4, right? Low is 0, high is 4, mid is 2. So 0, 1, 2. This is the midpoint, that's the first half. Okay, this actually so your first half, so H1 will be equal to A using slicing. Using slicing, it will start from 0 up to mid plus 1. Mid plus 1 is not included. Right? Second part is equals A's mid plus 1 for the end. Right? So H1 equals merge sort of H1. H2 equals merge sort of H2. Equals merge H1, H2, merge back, return C. So you break down into 2 halves, first half, second half. You sold your first half, you sold your second half, then you merge back to your first half and second half. Combine them together to see. You see, sorted. So why I teach you Python? Python is so simple. You mean the merge sort? How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can actually minimize it. Okay, this is mean. I can actually don't use this stupid calculation. Okay, 7 line or 8 line, I mean finish. Same thing, the merge I can optimize it. Okay, I don't use pop. I directly add a pop and then already append to it. I can use programming technique to even make it shorter. Okay, so the whole merge sort is just, I think, less than 30 lines. If you are giving me 50 lines, means that it's too complicated. Okay, is that okay? So I cannot help you to do debugging, but I can give you the idea. Okay, how to write it. Okay. Any questions so far? Key point. Let's actually do it one more time. Okay. Merge sort. If you down to only one more element, you don't need to break it. You directly return it. Otherwise, you actually cut the array to 2 halves, one first half, second half. And in Python, cutting it, it just do slicing. Okay, slicing is pretty simple. And you sort the first part, then you sort the second part, and then you merge them together. That's it. Break down, sorting. Break down, 14 first half, sorting second half, then merge back. Okay, this is merge sort. So, sorting a merge portion. Merge portion, you do have first half, second half, already sorted. Pick a smaller number to C array and delete it. Pick the something like that. Okay. Any question? Let me post the code to the checkbox. Okay, so you can download. I'm sorry. Let me see. I don't know whether I can copy and paste or not. Okay, it's actually okay. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, bottom line is that keep coding, okay, keep coding, and then don't feel I mean don't try to focus on some too detailed things, okay? Just try to keep coding, okay? Try to keep coding. We have plenty of the homework to be done. Okay, and if no question, we will talk about object-oriented programming, okay? Object-oriented programming was around since 1985 or 87, okay? 87, we start to look at the C++ language and then become more popular in the 90s. Because early 90s, we had C++, we had Microsoft Foundation class, and we have 95, we have the Java, okay? And then after that, object-oriented programming become more and more popular. But recently, object-oriented programming paradigm become less popular now, Okay, there are some reasons. Okay. So first thing, before we talk about object-oriented programming, okay, we talk about history. So the first object-oriented programming language is Smalltalk. Okay. And then somewhere around 85, we do see C having C++, but not very popular. Until 87, we see Windows coming out. So there is a C++ become more popular. And there is a Microsoft Foundation class. Okay. And then we start to look at the object-oriented programming for Windows programming. And then 95, Java become important language. And then it become the majority web design language. Okay. And then Java has Java API. Okay. What I want to say is that what is the purpose of the OOP? Why we need the object-oriented programming? In the old days, we write C. So one hello world using C program, but probably 3 line, 5 line. You finish the program. But if the same 1 line, if you put into the graphic system, you use a Microsoft Foundation class, you may use over 100 lines in order to write that program. So what's the reason why we actually need the object-oriented programming? Anybody know?
Makes your code more usable. So like you can use like different functions and stuff easier, and allows you to use different things over and over again without having to keep rewriting out the same code over and over again.
Yes. The main reason is trying to make code reusable. Okay. Trying to make code reusable. So the beauty of the object-oriented programming in C++ would be the STL, Standard Template Library. If you don't know about STL, then C++ has no value. You just write C language, right? And it's same thing if you are trying to write Java, you want to use the Java runtime environment, RTE, and there are tons of the library there. If you don't use that, you just write C language again. You don't need to bother yourself to write such a big program. So basically, object-oriented programming is the main reason is management of the library. Okay, you are very good. Okay, you answer the right answer, and also we try to make code reusable. Okay, reusable. Okay, so because we want to make code reusable, we want to manage the library to make it smaller. So object-oriented programming has the following 3 important concepts: encapsulation, inheritance, and the polymorphism. Any object-oriented programming's main idea is these 3. Okay, so inheritance, pick inheritance as an example. You have the A class that inherited by B class, that inherited by C class. Okay, you have also A class being inherited by D class. So what you have in the base class, you do not need to repeat them in the derived class. So you save time. And sometimes if you do extension, you just add the new feature, you can create a new class. So that's why using inheritance, your coding is easier. And then some code, you will modify in A, all the other classes can see, right? That's actually is an advantage of using the inheritance and group them into the OOP environment, right? Polymorphism. If your parents have certain implementation, you don't agree on it, you can re-implement it and override your parents' design. And you can actually bind in your code at the wrong time. So then the so-called dynamic binding and static binding happen, okay, to allow the programmer to assign the appropriate function for each class. Okay, encapsulation basically for security. So you can determine who can see your data, who cannot see your data. Okay, and some languages like Java is actually very, very sensitive in the encapsulation because it's website language. They actually need to maintain the single access at the same time, the so-called mutual inclusive access, because that is in the multi-threading environment. You don't want your variable to be updated by multiple data, multiple process or multiple threading. Okay, you just want to have certain thread to update the data. So these are three major rules in the object-oriented programming. Number one, encapsulation is for security. Okay, you have to determine who can see your data, who cannot see your data, the visibility issue, public, protected, default, and also the private. Okay, there are 4 levels of the data visibility. And then inheritance, who is the base class, who is the subclass, and then how base class, how subclass can use the data from the base class. Okay, that's inheritance. And last one is polymorphism. Polymorphism make the function of different flavor. Okay, there are 4 types of polymorphism. Okay, there are 4 types of polymorphism. Let me see if I do have a slice. Okay. Let me see if I do have a slice. I don't, okay, but it's okay. Let me try to use another slice to give you the idea of a polymorphism, okay. Let me bring up my AP course, AP Computer Science A, okay. That's a high school course. When I teach the Java. Java is the best language for object-oriented programming. It's actually simple and then easier to more organized, okay. There are 4 types of the polymorphism. Okay, one is called overloading polymorphism. Okay, overloading polymorphism. Who knows what is overloading? Anybody know what's overloading?
It's like when you have a function or class and you want to use a different type, you can overload.
Yes. Okay. When your function have different parameter type. So let me show you that this one actually I just teach it yesterday for some high school kids. Okay. I'm sorry. I've been teaching them generic programming yesterday. Okay, I use a BlueJ for them. Okay, so basically, overloading is same function name, different parameter. type. Okay, so you can use measurement for integer, for double, for anything. So basically the measurement function being overloaded, it deals with different data type. And because it's different data types, so we say polymorphism. Poly is many, like poly is a polyester, is many, right? Morphism is shape or form. So basically your mass function can deal with that, okay? And even your C double plus, you can overload your plus sign, overload your equal sign, overload your greater equal, right? Remember that C double plus, you can overload your operators. Okay, Java you cannot. Okay, but this is actually overloading. So basically, when we say polymorphism, the first type is overloading. It is actually make your function able to deal with parameter of different type. Okay, overriding. Okay, overriding is different from overloading. Overriding is that you do have a rectangular class. It's actually been actually inherited by a square class. So rectangular class has the get area, and the square class also has a get area. But rectangular class, the get area may be defined differently from the rectangular class. So same function name, same parameter, but different definition. We call it overriding. Is that okay? We call it overriding. So same function name, but maybe different parameter, still same parameter list, but you actually redefine. So only the child actually get the new definition. Okay. Let's go overriding. Okay. Second type of the polymorphism is coercion polymorphism. Coercion polymorphism is like you do have an A, you convert it to integer. If original A is double. Okay. Or you do have a student one converted to person type. Right? And you have a person P, and after that, your person is a student. So when you see a person, that person may be a boy, may be a girl. Because of the coercion polymorphism. Is that okay? Third one is the incursion polymorphism. Incursion polymorphism is inclusion polymorphism. Okay, inclusion polymorphism. Inclusion polymorphism is like you do sorting on object array A list. So this A list, any object type can be put there for sorting. So basically, your A list may have number, may have integer, may have double. They can be sorted together because they have a common data type. Okay, last one called parametric polymorphism. Okay, parametric polymorphism is that you do have a sorted, and then you actually have a T array. Okay, T array T, but your function actually say T. Okay, so this T you can assign integer. T is a data type, and then this array suddenly become a sorting algorithm for integer. You can put string, you become a string. So let me show you, okay. There's a sorting algorithm. So there is a sorting algorithm. You take a T, extend compatible, as long as the object type extend compatible. Then we do a separate array of the T type. Okay. And then actually, I do have this sorting. This one is a multi-sort, a selection sort, okay? Selection sort. And after that, I do work on two set of data. One is string array. The other one is integer array. This sorting algorithm can work on both. So this one, we call it parametric polymorphism. Another name for it is called generic programming. So generic programming, by setting the data type, we can make the sorting algorithm working for different data type. Again, this one is what? This one is polymorphism. And this one actually is also, what's that? Make a code reusable. Okay, let me actually do this. Okay, let me do this. Since it's not too long, let me actually copy. Okay, send you email. Sometimes I forget. Okay, let me actually post the code to you. Okay, so you can see the code. That actually is generic programming. That is another type of polymorphism. So polymorphism's main idea is you make the code of different flavor so that you can handle using one function to handle data of different type, of different object. So they are generic container, generic function, and generic iterator. Usually, generic programming, you have these three types. Generic container. So you have a array list. That's a generic container. You can put data of different type there. Second type is generic method. You write a sorting algorithm, that one can be used for different data type, right? Third one is generic iterator. Generic iterator is a pointer you can use to traverse through data of different type, right? These are the key concept of the polymorphism, okay, and generic programming. Any questions so far? Okay. Key point is that you try to learn programming, must learn the language inside out, okay, inside out. So basically, basically, when you do coding or you go to interview, you know a lot of things, okay? Must learn it inside out. If you don't know about how to write a program, keep doing it, okay? Keep doing it, erase it, rewrite it, erase it, rewrite it until you understand it. So there are two types of abstraction, procedural abstraction and data abstraction, okay? I think this is okay. So object-oriented programming is one type of data hiding. So basically, you actually hide your data and method together into one class, okay? So object-oriented programming is a feature. Most important part is the three things: polymorphic, inheritance, and encapsulation. But there are also other topics, such as reusability class, object abstraction, and message passing, okay? But if people ask three major features, is these three, okay? And this one usually I need my high school student to remember, is the whole object-oriented programming topic. You must understand every individual topic. Okay? There are so many. And this one I designed it, try to make sure a student understand the so-called object-oriented programming. So starting from class type, you may have regular class, interface object class, enum special class. So these are special classes, okay, basic class, Some languages such as C++ do not have interface. Java, Python do not have abstract classes. Okay. So first you need to know about the class design and what is static variable, class variable, what is the instance variable, what is static variable. Okay. Python static variable, class variable, and the instant variable are different. Okay. So these are the topics you need to know. And then visibility, public, protected, default, private. Okay. These are built here based on Java. C++ is a little bit different. Okay. And then your record class, information hiding, immutability. Okay. Iterability. Okay. Relationship has a relationship, many to one, one to many, coherence. Inheritance is a relationship. This is super. Okay. This in Python, it becomes cell, right? A super, we still have a super, but definition of the super in Java and Python are different. Okay. Multiple inheritance. Java do not allow multiple inheritance, but Python allow. Okay. And then there's a who got inherited first. Okay. Issue. And then polymorphism. We talk about different polymorphism. So these are the whole object-oriented knowledge you need to know. Okay. I try to make these slides as complete as possible, but there may be something missing. Okay. But basically, this chart, I would say, is the most important chart. When you try to review OOP, this is the concept that you need to go through. Okay. Okay, so first object-oriented programming language is Smalltalk. Okay. Before object-oriented programming, there is a modular programming. Okay. Modular programming is actually a intermediate format between between the structured programming to object-oriented programming. Okay. But nowadays, nobody talk about modular programming anymore. Okay, let's see. Some not important part, we don't talk about it. Okay, 3 key factors. Okay. Python is a simple script language, numerical programming. Okay. And it provides object-oriented programming as well. Okay. So basically, Python's everything is object. Python's integer is an object. Python's flow is an object. Python's set is an object. Python's list is an object. Python's dictionary is also an object. Python's function is also an object. Okay. And when we talk about object-oriented programming, is usually is class A. Okay. And then define underline init. Right? So this one, OOP design, is still defines some class and object. But the object is the same as the whatever you have, function, flow, is everything is object. Okay. So class, you can only say it is user-defined class. It's user-defined class or user-defined object. Okay. As for the object, everything in Python is object. Okay, everything in Python is object. And each object in Python, they do have one len function. They do have the magic functions. So every object you do have str function. You do have init function, no matter which object it is. Okay, these are called magic functions. So you need to remember this magic function, and those magic functions allow you to redefine your object. Okay, so let's see. Python. No, not this one. Okay, Python magic function also called double under function, double under functions. Okay, it's also called double under function. So each object, when you actually, no matter what type, it comes with its different magic functions. Okay, say G is greater equal. So you can redefine its greater equal function. EQ is the equal sign. Okay, these are the double equal functions, double under functions. Okay, so every object has such magic functions. Okay, these are something that you need to keep in mind. So number one, Python, everything is object oriented. Okay, and it has many functions that you can use. Okay, and you can use a dir to find out its own features. Okay, these are objects. And you can use a type to find out its type. Okay. And Python object, you have attribute and property and method. Okay. And these are the major topics. Okay. And then class definition. You can define your class. So basically, you have class name, statements to define your class. Okay. The simple part, we just go faster. Okay. So you can define a class, say this class is employee. Okay, you have a variable, put it here. This one is a class variable. Okay, if you put inside the init, you say self or any function, self.something, these are instance variable. Okay, and this one is a class variable. Okay. Who knows the difference between class variable and the instance variable? Anybody know? Anybody know?
Is a class variable only usable by, is usable by any of the class, and instance variables only used by a specific function inside the class? Or no?
No.
Alright.
You try, but close, but not exactly. Okay, let me actually look at this one. Your class name is called employee. Right? You can create an object called E1, create an object called E2. Right? So E1 has salary, say 10K. E2 has salary, say 15K. Then E1's salary, is that equal to the E2's salary? No, it's a separate idea, right? Is that okay? So this kind of variable is self.salary then what? Then actually it is instance variable, belong to the object. These are objects. Here we have employee count. So employee count initially is 0. Whenever we run the init function, it increases by 1. So no matter who asks you, employee, that employee count, it will be the same. So we run create E1 and E2. So this one, this employee count will become 2. So when you use outside the class, you have to use employee that employee count. It's actually class name that variable name. And but the salary is different. Salary you say in instance that salary. This is an object that variable. So employee number count is a shared property. Whoever in this company, when they got asked is employee that employee count. This company has two employees. They are the same. Nobody who asks, they are the same. Is that okay? But employee 1, the salary, and employee 2, the salary is different. Your salary is different from mine. So share variable or instant variable is defined by this. Is that okay so far? This is the difference between class variable and class instance variable. And besides, you may have see here you have a cell. This type of function are instant functions. If you don't have cell, those are class functions. Is that okay? Any question? Okay. This Python uses cell similar to this. Okay. I'm assuming you know some Python. Okay, for everyone. So you have the employee 1 equals this, employee 2 like this. Okay. You have whatever. Okay, this is okay. So here you can have a print function total employee. You use a class function. So this one is a class name that employee count. Okay. This is a class variable. Okay. Okay, and in Python, you do have special attributes. Underline, tick, underline, dark, underline, the name, underline. These are private variable. When you see underline something, these are private. Private variable, so it's impossible that you do E1 that underline, tick. It's not okay. Any question? You cannot see underline in private. Okay. And there's a delete function. Okay, garbage collection. That's something like that. Okay, Python class. Okay, we don't repeat that. Okay. Atom class. Okay, whatever. Let me move a little bit faster. Okay. So classes, you can build main application class, utility class, helper class, data class, program class, and non-verbal class. Okay. In Python, there's no abstract class, no interface class, but you can mimic it. You can mimic it. Okay. You can mimic it. Namespace. Okay. Each function create a new namespace. Each class also create its own namespace. Okay. So we talk about is a module. Okay, it's a module. So you Your variable inside the module can be seen, but outside you cannot see it. Okay. Utility class is like you provide function for everybody to use, such as math class. Random function is everybody can use. Okay. So you can have a base class called doc. You can have a extended class or derived class called Ryan, and then you actually extend it. Okay, extend it. Okay, this portion unit test I just bypass it. Okay. So class variable and instance variable, we talk about it. You have to study by yourself. Okay. This time I don't repeat it. And then there are scope, global scope, class variable, okay, instance variable. With this, it's actually you need to understand where your variable being defined. Okay. Okay, you need to study it. Okay, which one is global variable, which one is class variable, which one is instance variable. Okay. I think this portion are fine. Okay, you have to study yourself. Init function is your constructor. Okay, init function is your constructor. It's the standard constructor for your class. Okay, and you have private and public one. Okay, and here you may see some property and attribute setter. These are decorator. Okay, at this moment we don't talk about decorator, but later when you do functional programming, we talk about a decorator. When we have this attribute, okay, these are decorator. Decorator is a wrapper function. Okay, but at this moment not to worry about. And underline, I talk about is a private attribute or private data or private function. Okay. Outside cannot see. Let me see how many slides we still have. Okay. We are about half. Plus attribute. If something that you actually more suitable for you to study, I would like to study. Okay. Method, static method. Okay. Static method is the function that actually has no self-argument. So when you have a function come with self, I mean it's instance function. Okay. Work on class attribute, not instance attribute. Okay. So static function only work on class attributes. And you can use static functions to create it as well. Okay. So, okay. You can create a function by define function inside a class, but do not put a self, no self. Okay. No put self. That would be a class function. And you can also write my static function, static method of this. You can also make your function as a static method by doing this. Okay. That's an HR declaration, but you say okay. But remember that your static function always just deal with your static data. Do not deal with your instance data. Okay. This one is print number of instance. It actually is a class method. So you only deal with the class variable. Okay? You don't deal with class variable. There is also a class method. Okay. Class method is unique for Python, but not for Java. Okay, so basically you have, I should say, the one that I'm talking about is static method. Okay, under static method is also class method, and then under class method is an instance method. Okay, so whatever I talk about so far is a static variable. It belongs to the class. Okay, these are you can also create a method called class method and use a CLS. Okay, so you actually define your function as class method. This one is like this. If you have a class method, if you have static method, whatever class under it, you can all use. Okay, class method only is a class, and under it can be used. Okay, it's a minor difference, but I think it's seldom being used. Okay, and this one you put CLS class. Okay, as parameter. I seldom use it. Okay. Okay, whatever. There are so many definitions. Too much. Okay, too much. Object is the data you get. Okay, whatever. These portion are too much. So here we do each object to have an init function, string function, class function you can use. Okay, magic double under functions. Okay, remember these are very powerful. Okay. Decorator. Decorator, you can use a class method to make the method a class method. Okay, you can use static method to make a class method as a class method. Okay, and you can use a property to create a new data field. Okay. So here, this one class method, you have a function call from text file. With this decorator, this function will be a class method. Okay. Same thing for static methods. And property, you can actually use the property to make a data as a property. Okay. And you will have a getter setter when you create. Okay, so these are the definition for setter and deliters. Okay, you have to check this code. I don't have time to go through every code. Let me see. We are about to finish today. Okay. So next one is overriding the object methods. Each object has many magic functions. Okay. These are very tedious, so I don't have time to give you example for every single one. Okay, I can only show you where are the resources. You can overload your plus sign, minus sign, whatever. Okay. These are called magic functions. Okay, tons of it. Okay, so when you define your class, these are different things that you can work on it. Okay, similar to C++. C++ operator can also be overwritten. Okay, so you must know about the key concept of what is overloading, what is overriding. Okay, and then you would know about which function you should optimize. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, if no question, that's it for today. Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.